you like this video, click like. If you want to continue to follow our adventure, hit subscribe. Your support would be greatly appreciated.
Hello, Miles on the Road subscribers and followers. Missing old campgrounds that we visited before. And what got us thinking about this, and this one, you know, Carolyn had a lot of input to. We kept asking each other, well, do you think we'll ever come back to this one? And it got me to thinking, why are we coming back to this one? There's a whole bunch more in this country that we could probably go visit that we haven't seen. So why do we want to come back to this one? And the answer is quite simple, is we missed something from every one of them. You know, I've lived in several different places in my life, and I think fondly about each one of those places. The memories that we made, you know, I owned a home for 10 years, and that's basically where my daughter grew up, and I have lots of fond memories of that place. The 8 acres that we rented, oh, lots of nice memories. Well, apparently the same is true when you come out here. And we have talked a lot about going back to some of these campsites. Natchez Trace, I know I'm saying it wrong, I think it's Nachos, or Nachos. Anyway, that was a very nice campground, and I just recently made a video talked about the top 5 campgrounds we've been to, and I'll put a link to that right there. Now, that was the top 5, but they've all had special memories. You know, Natchez was, you know, it had a lot of historical information, and it was just a very nice, pretty area. But we went to this one place called Sheffield. It was out in the middle of Georgia, and we found it just by accident. And the beginning of our video has a picture, you know, that little, right at the beginning where I always, you know, tell you what the video is about, where the music, the intro, the whole, you know, the first, I think, 7 seconds of the video, every video, it has a fond memory of pine tree smells, starting our adventure. I don't know, there was just a lot to it that just really has a lot of memories. Ended up going down to Florida with Lake City. Now again, that was in that video that I showed you, but what I didn't show you was the one, Wood Lake. I mean, that did not make our list. But do you know where we went back to? The first place we went back to when we went to Florida? Wood Lake. It was just a really nice memory. The nice thing about Wood Lake was it had all the things that makes a campsite awesome, which I did just a video on. I'll put that link right here. You know, we went to Kentucky to Great Meadows, and while we were there, we weren't all that happy. It didn't have internet, and it was an enormous drive. I mean, 7 miles minimum for slow internet connection. And we were miserable the whole time we were there. Miserable. Towards the end, we started finding spots, you know, nice walking spots and things that we really enjoyed. But believe it or not, that one made our top 5. Even though we were miserable while we were there, it has really made a nice... The campground was awesome. It was very clean. They mowed the grass. It was just, I don't know. It has really left a fond memory. Then we went on to Walnut Flats, and it was Thomas Jefferson National Forest. That one's in southwest Virginia. And again, miserable. No internet. This internet thing just drove us batty. Absolute batty. But you know, we really do miss Walnut Flats a lot. There was this deer that showed up every night. And at first, she kept her distance from us. Now, she went over to the other campsite and she stayed close to him, but she wouldn't come to us. But when he left, she made a new family, and that was us. And she came right up to us. I bet from here to the truck, I think you can see the truck in this camera, but that's about how far she was. You know, and I know everybody says that she wanted us to feed her, but it really felt like that she wanted us to pet her. And it has really left a fond memory, and to the point we want to go back and visit our little deer. Wolf Gap. See, there's the thing. Wolf Gap was obviously one of those hit home run campsites. We loved every minute of it, loved every minute of it, loved every minute of it. So there's an expectation that it's going to leave a fond memory, and it does. But it doesn't have any more fondness to it than that deer walking up to us. It made a memory, and we miss the memory. So I guess what I'm trying to tell you is you can fall into this trap like we did, that are we going to come back to these campgrounds? And I don't know the answer to that. I immediately always say, yeah, we're going to go back. If we're ever in Virginia, we're going to go back to, you know, whatever campground. If we're in, well, here's an example. We on our emergency run up to Missouri, we passed two campgrounds actually that we'd already stayed at. And if it hadn't been so late, I think I would have asked Carolyn, do you want to just go ahead and stop here and stay another night, just to, so you know, we can see it again? They really do have a draw to them once you have stayed there, and that we've made it our home for 2 or 3 weeks, and it made memories. I mean, you know, if I had ever could go back to that house, you know, I'm sure I would. If I could ever go back to that 8 acres, I'm sure I would. It has a memory to it. It's just a lovely memory. I remember not that long ago, I took Carolyn to my childhood home, you know, to show her, and it's kind of like that. It's just an old friend that you get to see again. And so anyway, have that expectation that you are going to miss the campgrounds that you stay at if you come to these, if you take this adventure. So anyway, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Click like if you like the video, and